today's video, we're going to talk about head control in armored combat in Buhurt, and the easiest way I've found to control your opponent by controlling their head in the list. Toolbox Press makes TTRPG game books and is a game system, so similar to other game systems most familiar with like Dungeons & Dragons. It's actually 5e compatible. They make a ton of amazing products, including their own standalone game, which is compatible with it, spell books, magic books, anything for people who like playing role-playing games. And I have liked their products for a long time. I've played with some of their editions when I've been playing, particularly 5e, and I'm now diving into their own independent game system. And it's really cool, and I'll be talking more about that in the future, sharing some of their products, and talking about why I had them sponsor me. So when I talk about head control, what I'm talking about is controlling your opponent's head to control their body. You can be using this for a takedown, for maneuverability, but as a general rule, once you take someone's head and you have control of it, like if Tom were not to fight me or to push him, he's going to go wherever I push his head. This is my son Tommy. He is training with me. He's 14 and learning to fight, so we started using him in some of our videos, some of our training as well. Now, in real life, if I try to grab Tommy's head and push around, he's going to use his strength and stop me, right? He's going to do things to get out of it. He's going to do things to get away, right? I can't just grab someone's head and manipulate them like that. Essentially, all of our grappling, we talked in other videos, we're trying to do one of two things. You're trying to change direction on people. So if I want Tommy to go this way, the first thing I want to do is shove him this way and then pull him back. I want to change direction because I want to use his momentum against it. If I start pushing this way, what's Tommy going to do? He's going to push into me, so then I pull him this way. So change momentum, change direction. The second thing you want to do is break posture. When I say break posture, I mean your head over your shoulders, over your hips, over your feet. That's your strongest stance, especially in armor. If I right now I try to pull Tommy down, he's standing up, so I'm like pulling pretty hard. He's not going anywhere. Tommy, lean way forward for me. Now if I push him down, if you fight back, Tom, I can just push him down because I've broken his posture. I've taken that head offline, so I've either pulled it forward, sideways, backwards. I've moved it off that center line. We're strongest when we're in our center line. We have a strong stance. We're weakest when we're at sideways and weird angles and our heads are twisted and moved. So head control is super important in Buhurt. It's a standing fighting sport in general, other than some of the pro fights with ground fighting. So your main goal is to get the person onto the ground. That's how you win the round. If you can control someone's head, you can control their body. You can also often control the takedown. The easiest way that I found to gain head control is a tie clinch. So a lot of times I'll see newer fighters or even experienced fighters, they'll try to get head control. They grab a guy's head like this and they're trying to pull him down. And now you're fighting my arm muscles, a little bit of my back, against his entire core strength. So he's going to pull back and I'm going to try to pull really hard and he's just going to fight me. He's going to beat me. He's using his whole body essentially to keep me from snapping his head down. The best way to do that is break posture is to use leverage. So what I like to do is when I get my hand around the head, I'm going to get this elbow into their chest. If I get an elbow into their chest, I'm now going to use push with my elbow, and it's going to pull their head down. So Tommy, fight me now. That's it. I didn't use any strength at all. He's legitimately pulling back on me. By pushing that elbow in, I'm now able to pull that head down and gain head control. Now you can do it with two hands ideally, right? So both hands are here on the elbow. I'm going to move in a little bit to the camera. So in here, you're going to see me, I'll put this arm down so you can see. I'm going to elbow in here, head here, and I'm going to take those hands on the back of the head and I'm going to pull down. By doing this, you see I've broken his posture and I'm now leveraging my elbows into his chest and I can just pull him down. At this point, I have control of him as a fighter. It's important, as you see when I said it, Tommy, come over a second, turn to your back a little bit, is when I'm grabbing, I want to be grabbing like about here in the head. I don't want to be grabbing real low. It's really hard to leverage my elbow. Yeah, Tommy actually just did it. He stood up without even realizing it. I can't leverage my elbow in here. There's not enough of an angle. If I'm up too high, I'm just going to slip off, especially on a helmet. So behind the back of the head, elbow into chest, and then you're going to push and control down. That is the easiest way to get head control on somebody in a typical fight under normal circumstances. So the way into that is we're squared up for fighting. I want to get my hand inside, get that elbow in, and then ideally get the other one too. Once I get that hand inside, I get that elbow in, I'm going to snap him down. I now have control. There's a bunch of different throws we can do from there, positions. I may even want to throw him. I could turn him right now for my buddy to hit him with an axe, right? If we're playing in a melee. That's really the thing you want to practice. You want to practice getting in that habit of anytime you're getting in, you're getting that head control in there, and you're going to snap in, and you're going to snap someone down. Now we talked about the push-pull going in different directions. So another thing you can do with this, when you first get that hand in, you can push back first and then snap down. So as I come in, I'm going to slam my elbows in. He's going to immediately respond by going into me, and then I can grab his head and pull him down. So whenever you're fighting this, that's the easiest way. And in fact, you can do this one-handed. If I get one arm inside here, Tommy, try to get away. I'm using almost no power, and I have total control. And obviously I'm his dad, I'm a little bigger than him, but I'm really not doing any work. He's actually pushing on me pretty hard, but because I've got that leverage, I'm basically locked in there. I have to use almost no muscle to hold that position. So how do you do with a weapon, right? So a one-handed weapon is pretty much the same process. You're going to get the hands behind and lever down, but if you've got a two-hander, there's a couple things you can do. So one thing you can do is you can choke down on the axe. If you get your hands in here, you're just going to use it without, almost like you don't have one. Right, so now I'm just going to, now which hand is it? I'll put in this hand for visibility. So I'm going to still do a head control. I've simply got the weapon here in my hand, but I'm doing the same motion. I can also use the weapon as another leverage point. Now, in most leagues, Buhurt Natural in particular, you cannot hook behind the head. They will call you for this. So you want to keep your weapon at an angle whenever you can. I don't even like to keep it flat up here. It tends to slide down, which now I'm hooking the neck, and I'm going to get in trouble. So anytime I do this, I want to have that weapon. I'm going to turn you all the way backwards for a second, Tom. So put your head up. So I get that weapon around the back. I don't want to go here. I want to go at an angle. Whichever way it is, doesn't matter. Keep that at an angle, right? So when I get that angle, I'm going to get in here, and I'm still going to angle, and I'm going to leverage my elbows in and push down. I'll close my hands in as close as I can, put the weapon at the back of the head, and leverage down, and take control. So again, you can do it one-handed, you can do it with the weapon here, you can do it using the weapon. The big key to this entire move is elbows into the chest. If I'm trying to just fight out here and pull, he can pull away very easily. Once I get those elbows in, it's very hard for him to escape. It's very challenging. It's doable, but it's going to be a lot harder. So if you're on that entry, you're coming in, you might throw a jab, you're throwing strikes, whatever, you're going to get that hand inside however you can, swim it in, behind the head, at an angle, elbows in, and then you're going to control from there. This works at different heights. Tommy's a lot smaller than me. If he gets in there, you don't need a weapon for this, Tom, but you do the same thing. You get the head control in, and he's going to pull down. It doesn't matter he's a little tall, then I'm taller than him. Now, if it's gigantic differences, of course, you have to adjust your fighting styles to who you're fighting. But even though I'm a lot taller than Tom still, he's growing, but he's getting there. If he gets inside and he gets those elbows in, pushes him in, put him right in there, yep, now push down, I'm going to fight back, and I literally can't get out of this by just using my muscles. There's ways at it. We'll talk about defenses maybe in another video, but that is the key to head control. It's probably my favorite thing to do as an entry into a fight. Anytime I can get head control on somebody, I now am in charge of the fight. I get to dictate what to do next, where to go, how I want to move. Do I want to move into a guillotine? Do I want to go into a different throw? Do I want to give to my buddy in a bad position? There's a lot of things you can do. The other thing that I really like about this, there's underhooks are great, other things are great, but the other thing I like about head control is from here, I can survey the whole field. I am up and I am able to look around, hold someone in position, and go, okay, there's something happening there, my team's winning, oh, we're in trouble, I need to work faster. I can watch the field while keeping someone in a pretty stable position, and they're using a lot of energy, a lot of muscles, a lot of strain in their neck to try to escape that, where I'm honestly kind of resting once I get them locked into that spot. So that's the video. Head control, practice it, get used to that when you're doing drills, work on it. If you get master that, it's going to make a lot of the other throws a lot easier, and it's great for any position, particularly rail fighters, but anyone can use it in one-on-ones, melees, whatever it is. It's a foundational move, and I hope this helps you in your fighting. I'm the Woodchuck Knight. This is Big Tom. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, follow, all that wonderful stuff. And as a reminder, if you do like and comment on this video, you'll be put into the raffle for the Kobo Press drawing.